Hello, I'd like to welcome all to Apotheon. This game is really weird when it comes to graphical fidelity, and we'll get to that. But for now, this is a game with an interesting art style. Plenty nudity, although not very interesting nudity. It's just Greek nudity, as it was in the good old days. I beat the game already, so I have Olympian. I don't know what health recharge even is. But we can find that out. No, I just want to have that. We're going to use a new slot.
The gods have abandoned you.
Sad news, everyone!
The love they once gave is now gone. The sea gives only water. The woods give only wind.
How?
The earth gives only dust.
How?
Even the midday sky gives only twilight.
How?
With their shepherds gone, the sheep fall prey to wolves.
This game's loud.
Without the gifts of Olympus, you are lost to the darkness.
Darkness. It's an interesting game, but we'll get to the combat, which isn't as great. Oh! Didn't know that! Oh my goodness, the frame rate is tanking. I might be able to do this game. Or I just had to restart fraps? Wait, are you telling me that... Oh my goodness, it's one of those games, isn't it? Well, it's 40. I guess that's fine. Won't show up perfectly in the recording, but whatever. It's not like this game is a high brand action game. I'ma twack you. Aim for the head, kiddo. Where do you have that weapon? Where'd you have that? Give me that. Give me that spare. So, a few things about this game. As you can see, I have a durability bar for my weapons. All items you use have durability, including your armor, though your armor is not depleted when it is depleted. You can attack up by holding up. You can attack down by holding down. You can just basically stab. Stabby. You can roll with this. As you do repeated attacks, your stamina depletes, your attacks are slower, and I think they also deal less damage. You can jump. You can roll. You've got swap buttons for easy access. You can throw your weapons if you're really that kind of person. There's a reason you do this with the D-pad, by the way, and we'll get to that. But for now, let's just twack some stuff. And collect some Crete stuff.
Andrios, you're still amongst the living. Our watchmen didn't even see their ships through the darkness. These raiders scum will take everything we have. They're taking prisoners, invading houses, and burning anything they can't pillage. I need you wherever you can stick a blade.
That's a lot of places. Let me see if I can fiddle with the... No. It doesn't have any graphics options. You think it would have some, considering the high fidelity of everything. Okay, so blue guys are nice guys. You want to hit the red guys for now. Like I said, aim for the head. Also try to get some running in. Momentum and headshots are great ways to do additional damage.
Push them back to the sea.
My weapon's starting to deplete. That's fine. For now, fists will actually work perfectly fine, but... Killing enemies doesn't get you any experience. There's no real reason to kill enemies for the most part. You don't get anything for it. You can get drops, but they're too uncommon to really mine. No, pick up a torch. I didn't mean to access the door. This game has an all interaction button. And as you can see, unlike the D-pad, which is to swap weapons intelligently, the only way to switch between shield and... Like, the weird thing is you only have a shield and a torch, and eventually your torch becomes useless, so it's kind of like, eh.
This one's mine.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come on. Yeah. Sword to the head tends to do that to you. Anyway, we're here to loot and pillage. We need stuff for the journey. We have a map. This game is a really good map system, by the way. It's a really nice looking game. You know, it says 50 frames a second, but I don't believe it. Maybe those final 10 are the most important ones. Don't pick up weapons until you destroyed everything. Can't even craft anything. It doesn't even give us the crafting option, so what does it matter? You can always just go with your fists. As you can see, my character's just like, oh man! Oh! Luckily, your stamina comes back pretty fast. I think you can hear him gasp. Break! There you go. Oh, nothing even in it. Okay, ledges. Your character can hang on to ledges and climb on them. It's really loose and fast and loose, so it's doable. There's no reason to do that. There's no stealth mechanic in this game. Stealth extends to do not get seen.
Over here. Got a runner.
How am I a runner if I'm running towards you? I love that. Adds so much punch. Also, your character runs like crazy once he picks up some speed. Look at that. They do a lot of damage going fast. Gotta go fast for that bonus damage. Oh. Can we climb the roof here? Because I just want to go back. Oh, no, I can't. Of course you can't. Of course you can't. Come on, Nicandros. Pick up that speed. I said pick up the fucking speed, man. Put those legs in it.
Good heavens. Nicandros. I doused all the lamps and hid up here before they could find me. I'm fine, but you look dreadful. Come closer, my boy. Here. Let me show you how to mix a soothing tonic for your wounds.
He does not, however, give us the recipe required in order to use these, so we're going to hold on to those for a while. So, you go to crafting menu and just click what you want. As you can see, our healing elixirs are held at the bottom of the screen. We can instantaneously act these by pressing Y, or we can go over here and use them manually. Quick thing, you can overheal and over-repair your armor, which essentially just gets you bonuses. It gets you bonus and it slowly depletes. It's a very Doomish aspect. Yeah, if you throw weapons at fire, if you get caught on fire, you want to roll. You want to drop, stop, and roll, kids. That's how you put out a good fire. Don't tell anyone that I told you fire safety tips. I don't want to get sued because I helped you survive when they're trying to kill you. You know. As all parents do to all children. I've got a Doru. 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 You can also whack with spears, but you generally want to poke people with spears. Not that the damage changes too much, but spears have the advantage of distance, and you want to get the most out of that distance you can get. I guess this game just loads the entire texture in one go. Which is what causes the reduction in speed. A wooden club. So here's an interesting thing. Go to inventory and check out weapons. It's like, ooh, extra damage to shields. And it tells you all the damage and if you can carry multiple. Otherwise, if you come across a duplicate, you will typically replace the most damaged one. Or you'll add them to your stockpile. It depends. Oh, dude. Clubs are always swung overhead. Which is the thing to remember. Also, if you roll immediately, fire usually doesn't even do that much damage. If I need at all. Money! It's not a lot of money, but it's money. I'm a fan of spears, though. I'm here to loot and pillage. What say you, miss? Probably should have cleared my... Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Shields! These are terrible shields. Oh, actually not that bad. They're still shields. Not great. Seem to hold the shield in the direction. Shields can stop projectiles and incoming melee attacks as long as you stop the melee attack. Melee attacks can go under or over shields, so you gotta be careful. Stone. I want that frickin' stone, man. Dude, I want to be David and Goliath. Money. Dude, I was looting and pillaging. Hello there, armor guy. What you got for me? Did it break? Guess it did. Yeah, usually with spears you can carry multiple. There are a few exceptions. Oh! That isn't going to work because I don't have any armor yet. I'm going to see if I can fix this by leaving. This playthrough will be about 10 hours. Depending on if I decide to keep in all the walking around. Oh my god, he's fucking broken! Really? In case you haven't noticed, I'm really annoyed at that. It's actually really bad. If you ever get more than 5, you'll notice something interesting is that this game just doubles up on the... There's a good reason to jump, because jumping keeps your momentum. It gives your weapons a lot of punch. I don't do it too much, because enemies tend to move around so much that hitting them accurately with a jumping attack is kind of hard.
Like the old days. Why are you standing there in nothing but your skin? That thick skull of yours as good as a helmet.
Helmet!
I think I got some old leathers in the back you can wear. Grab me that coin box, would you? I want to make sure you can cover. Here, try these on.
That's his problem. I picked the coin box too early. So this is armor. Now we have 29 armor, which is terrible, but at least we can pick up the surplus. Pick up some 4 pairs, and now we are fully armored. Ready to go. Armor, except basically covers damage instead of your health. Repairing armors, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. Health and armor are pretty interchangeable in this game, and it is certainly not a thing you have to concern yourself with. Which is which? Just keep them both up in good shape. Oh, Doru. So in case you notice, yes, you can aim using the right stick and determine which direction to attack in. But you use the control stick to determine if you want to do an overhead or a forward stab, which is a bit confusing at times. It's not as accurate as perhaps it should have been. There's no reason to kill these guys. It's mostly just going to deplete your weapons, and right now, that's not something you want. You don't have access to replacement weapons. Your inventory is definitely limited. Let's go save some guys. We're going to do this all in one go, because this is just the prologue. We're not even in the actual game yet. I'll find you take care of them then. I'm just going to run over here. Is that a sickle or a shodel? It's hard to say. Yeah, armor and health drops also comes from enemies sometimes. Not too common, but hey. It's a noticeable increase. It's not bad, but personally not a big fan. Hatchets, love them. So yeah, at any given time you can have one usable item, one healing potion item, a throwing item, an actual throwing weapon, which usually is things like bows and arrows and hatchets from time to time. Lockpicks, good. This game is basically you hold the button and lockpicks happen. I need the boat hold key.
Hit 'em hard, hit 'em low. Another one for the bucket. Bet you.
Now here's something you haven't seen yet. As a shield is depleted, it gains cracks. And once a shield is fully cracked, it breaks. This counts for your opponents as much as it counts for you. So be careful! Depleting your shield is not a terrible thing, but it will certainly have a negative effect on your game. There's nothing down there if I remember. It doesn't really matter. You're not getting any stuff here that's like, oh, you need this. This is a chest! Chests are usually full of good stuff, and they often contain armor upgrades. Here's a fun thing. Once your armor is upgraded, all of your armor is upgraded. So you can just switch back and forth and make your character look sweet if you want to. There's a couple of hats that are pretty cool, but otherwise, most armor is just, like, I don't really care too much. Move. Also, swimming. Can I explain that right now, or is this the game says no? The game says no. Doesn't matter. We're not going to swim all that much right now anyway. It's going to be a while before we need to swim. Just remember that you can't drown. These are great weapons. It's impressive. As you can see, I now have a double heart because I have more than 5. Also, because you don't expend any stamina rolling, roll whenever you must. Just don't... Like, your life is more important than, you know, your pride. If you're alive, you can pride another day, as they say. I'm going to go back up there. No, actually, we'll go back up there later, so let's just do this for now. Into the granary we go. And this guy's going to be like, oh no, we need food! Give food, give.
They're taking the grain. God, stop them.
So yeah, it's implying that shit isn't going too well for us right now. The gods really have stuck it to us, as they say. Still hate it that we can't do anything with Milk of Moldy Root, which is used for armor repair potions mostly. Or armor repair means. It's not really a potion, it's a hammer. Damn, we are boned. I can see why, yeah, it's not going to go too well for these people anyway. It doesn't really matter. We'll get to that. And when we get to that, you're going to be like, oh, yep, it really doesn't matter. Problem with overheads that, unlike stabs, you tend to miss targets a lot more. Since, you know... I do like the overheal concept, because it means if you pick up a lot of healing items, it's like, no, it doesn't matter, you just get them all. You can also hang over things. Yeah, we need to do that right now. You're not going to do this too much. It's actually only a few hours we'll need to do this, and for the most part, it's like, eh. It's not a great mechanic, and it's never used enough. And as you can see, we can just go up ledges, and it's actually used for several climbing stuffs. No secret entrances yet. Do I have a Greek fire? I have a Greek fire. Let's actually craft. I want to make sure you craft because you can only carry so many of any item at any moment. So you want to make sure that you have them all set up nice and proper. Oh yeah, if you have a stacked item you don't have to re-equip, it automatically equips the next item that isn't broken in a stack if you happen to run out. Also, the reason why I like spears is that I don't know if they have more or less. Oh, look, we have 100 of them. Damn, 10 of them. I mean. So we are stacked on... Yeah, this game is pretty generous with healing items. You nerd! Find the hunter. You know, this place actually looks in pretty good shape compared to what it looks like later. It's gonna look like shit here. Funny thing is that the raiders aren't the reason. See, these raiders aren't... I think it's so. They're not human. They're not human origin. Oh yeah, you can't travel in your combat. This will come into play later. It actually doesn't have anything to do with enemies. It actually has to do with guards. Because Olympus is kind of Oblivion-esque in that fashion. We'll get to that. We'll get to everything! If I remember. Javelins! It now teaches you how to throw weapons. And specifically throwing weapons. Although, oddly enough, we use the bow more. Like, the bow... interestingly enough, is actually, I think you get a special item for us. Yeah, now secret area. Yay, cool. Sweet deal. It actually mentions manipulable items. That doesn't really matter. Sweet deal. You can actually kill rats and animals for health items if you really want to. There we go. Hunting arrows.
I went hunting yesterday. Didn't see a single deer. Went up this morning, didn't see any rabbits, no birds singing neither. There was always the bird songs in the mornings. Peep, cheep, tweet. Lots of rats though. People like rat meat, right?
It's not hunting though.
Yeah, they're bandits upstairs. Don't you worry, I'll keep all the rat meat safe.
So, bow and arrow. General, I don't know what the benefits of bow and arrow is. You don't get to use your shield or your torch. But I guess it gets an upgrade later on. You can push the shield button, left trigger, to cancel out of your shot. I don't know. I prefer bow and arrow for a few reasons. Headshots are really easy to nail in this game, and they deal so much damage. It's like, nope. Well, they're very easy to hit when there's not allies around you. We won't get any allies upstairs necessarily. We can summon them. We don't get any. We don't get no freebies. Fun thing, I think that tutorial's still there when we come back here, which is super fucking funny. Picking a lock, I'm picking a lock. Opening a chest. Later we get to kill people, right now we're still too nice. Ha. Showed him good. There's actually a maximum level to your armor, which is a bit interesting. For one, because you can't pick up it. Like, they should have just let it go and be like, oh, you can pick up more armor over time. It's a big buff guy. You can pick up more armor over time because. Why did I go move forward for that? If you. Yeah, moving backwards while getting a shot at has one small consequence in that you basically reduce momentum and thus deal less damage. Oh, there's a door up there. What's that for? Oh, that's Hera's part. We're almost out of the tutorial, don't worry. We're only going to beat up the tyrant to go through this temple. Now we're there. Now we're at Mount Olympus. Okay, now it teaches us how to do this. You can destroy those walls. You'll see them a lot. You'll see them mostly near hidden areas. Fresh Doru, always nice.
I'll cut you.
Yeah, shields are very specific, and I like it because it means you can very easily hit over them. Oh, I love those items float. That's so stupid. I also don't think there's any secrets here that count towards the secret achievements, so yeah, it doesn't matter. So, who are these people? Why are they raiding when the world is clearly dying? I'll be so glad when we get the sun disk. Probably one of the reasons why I'm going to go to Apollo first. Oh man, I hate the city. I hate the city for one reason. That's that you have to do a lot of illegal stuff to get all the things, but the game's like, no, don't do the illegal stuff. We'll send the cops after you. How am I going to bust some coppers in the streets? But then they sound the horn and you're like, ugh. The game doesn't inform you when you're doing something illegal. By marking things in red, mostly. Usually these unmarked areas aren't required, and the game makes them optional. They're usually just filled with treasure. Sweet, we get the upgraded helmet. Okay, we're over here. Is that a brick wall? No, it's just a regular wall. Really dig the art style, though. It's very consistent, it's really clean, it's easy to tell what's what, so they did a really good job. Since a lot of people that go for strange artistic styles typically mess it up, and then it's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, I fucking love them. It already tells us about the black market, which is a little bit annoying, because we don't even know what the fuck the black market is. Essentially, the game has special items that have a little star markation, and when they have a star markation, they can be purchased at the black market. These items are not typically found. I don't think... Yeah, you can actually find them with relative regularity, but... Think about chests. If they are red, you need to pick their lock. If they are black, they're empty. If they're blue, I think you haven't accessed them yet, and I think they can go in orangish color if you access them, but haven't cleaned them out yet. Which can happen because sometimes you're full of inventory and you can't take everything out of the chest, and you have to leave it behind, and it's fine. I like how clubs do more damage to shields, but at the same time they typically hit over shields because they go overhead. Now sure, enemies can hold their shield up. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing this, but... A couple of arrows to remind you, archers are a thing in this game, and they are actually... Oink oink! I am a piglet! My room's stinky, though. Come on, let's go! Doot 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 doot! Stop calling me a runner. Yeah, some of the enemies are just like, okay, I'm gonna throw my shield now. I love Hydra arrows for one specific reason. They are very accurate and very powerful. Okay, so healing items. It will prefer to heal you, and then it will go to armor. So you might want to be careful if you're tight on those things.
I have the spare key.
Thank you. Like, typically, if you're going to break a lot of stuff, you might want to break to a lighter weapon that you can miss, because, again, breaking stuff takes some durability, and it's not that much. It's not like, oh no, but when you're looting and pillaging, you want to make sure that you have the optimum looting and pillaging experience. You know, this thing where I'm always like, here's everything you need to know, kind of gets in the way.
Over here, got a runner.
You can see my shield showing some cracks.
If you struggle, I'll only stick you harder.
It's got a Crete thing. Okay, so this is a much better shield. Much wider. I prefer this shield. This is actually what most shields look like in terms of defense. They have this really big area that covers most of your body, and it's not too much of a hassle to use. Lockpick. You'll run out of lockpicks eventually. So, yeah. Okay, it doesn't let us see about the yellow thing yet, but we'll see what it looks like if you access it but don't empty it. If I got a wooden club, though, I want to replace them with that. Sacrificial oil is used for a lot of things. Here's a quick tip about people that use projectiles. Any crate will stop a projectile. Projectiles are intercepted by literally anything. So they can take aim, but if there's a barrel in the way, the barrel gets hit first, and then their arrow is wasted. These are markers that tell you a little bit about the gods. I think there are references to existing texts regarding the Greek Pantheon. Do not forget, this is not the Roman Pantheon. We're not going to get Mars or Jupiter. I don't think... No, Jupiter is a Roman god of the Pantheon. Not as godly as the Abrahamic gods, but hey, they're still pretty cool. They're much cooler than I really like the Pantheons. Pantheon gods are so much cooler. I sing the gold-throned Hera, whom Hrea bear. Queen of immortals is she, surpassing all in beauty. She is the sister and the wife of the loud thundering Zeus. That's gross. It's god incest. The glorious one who blessed all throughout... Oh. Whom all blessed throughout the high Olympus with reverence and honor to Zeus, lights and thunder. He really loves his thunder. Sweet deal, Ruby Bleal. Oh no, the lag's spiking in. Now it's gone. And now it's back! Defeat the tyrant. I don't know why it's tanking. Why is it tanking? What is it doing in the background? You know, in the background. Not much, actually. It's really just complaining for complaining's sake. Let's try this again. Is it full? Oh, there it is.
Out of my way, peasant. The gods have forsaken you.
Yeah.
Resign to your fate and leave this.
So, yeah. They are not human. They are taller than us. They are clearly referring to us as not human. I don't know what his place is in mythology. I don't know if he has a place. But what I can tell you about this guy is that he's your first boss battle, and he'll teach you one thing about bosses that's kind of annoying. Boss health bars are obscured by their names. I really love the axe. It's got a nice good range. Okay, let me show you why I love the Hydra. Oh, you suck! Also, when you pick up one Hydra Fang arrow, all others that sprung from that arrow are disappeared. So I don't think you can cheese it. I really love the boss kill music. It's like, yeah! You beat a boss, you're a cool guy! Roll around in the arena! He's easy enough. He's just a test to see if you picked up the basics. And now Hera shows up. It's like, hey, yo, bro, I'm a god. How do you like me?
And so, a champion is born. A lone bright ember glowing from within a dying heart. Arise, my chosen. Arise, Nicandrios.
Hera!
You stand before Hera, fairest amongst all goddesses, divine queen of Olympus. Under the shadow of the mountain, humanity gasps its last breath. The gods have abandoned.
That's Zeus's fault. We'll learn about that at the end, actually.
Zeus, king of gods and men, my husband, has turned
She
his
hates him.
back on your people. He has broken the sacred contract between deities and mortals. He has betrayed you.
What contract? And isn't he your brother too?
We are alike, you and I. Wife and son, wounded by husband and father. Unfaithful in matrimony, he discards his oaths for lesser creatures. Irresponsible in patriarchy, he discards his mortal subjects like an ungrateful child tossing away his toys.
Good voice acting. I love the voice acting.
Is absolute, and the Olympians are compelled to obey. Without the seeds of Demeter, your crops fail. Without the grace of Artemis, your forests are barren. Without the gaze of Apollo, your minds stumble in darkness. But I, as queen, am not so easily cowed. Step to the altar, Nicandrios.
Nope. See you guys next time. Oh, you sneaky bitch. Doink. Take a look at the item description for the shield. An iron bulwark of the warrior, this iron plated, bronze-plated shield makes an impenetrable defense. Of the chmoli, I thought it was moldy plant. That explains a lot. Holy moly! That explains a lot. Fun thing about these is that you can actually do it with both right bumper and right trigger, depending on what you prefer. The fun thing about arrows is that arrows have, and everything has durability, and you can pick it back up until they are depleted.
I present to you a choice. Ascend Mount Olympus, strip these callous gods of their power, and cast down Zeus from his loft.
I like how you refer to him in capital letters.
Stand up to the cruel deities of Olympus, and earn your people's salvation.
What do you get out of this is the question, though.
Or remain here, without the gifts of the gods, and watch your world turn to ashes.
This game has save slots! You don't need them, but they're still there. I'm gonna go home. I'm hungry. I know there's no food, but I'm hungry. I love how the door tells you that you can't go through, and it's so... And this game's combat is awkward, but it's so satisfying when it goes well. Well, you're not giving me an option, by the way, lady. I've got a hammer. I'll beat you with my hammer. I'm gonna poke you with my fork. Poke you in your butt. Alright.
Too long has my husband escaped the consequences of his
The consequences of his actions.
Together, we will take what is owed.
What do you get out of this? Do you want to be king, queen, person of the gods? Because you could just, you know, fuck Zeus a couple of times. That tends to work. I mean, you're a woman in a video game. Performing sex is like a golden ticket to anything because of how writers work these days. No, I'm kidding. This game's actually really faithful to the original mythology and all the references to it. I love it! Because I love ancient mythology that isn't so stuck up its own ass. This is why I dislike Christianity and Muslimism, is because it's so far stuck up its own ass with I'm right. And this is like, this is a dude who fucked up pretty bad. Let's laugh at him and then worship him because he does a pretty important job. And I like that because it gives me a reason to like the guy. Humans are better than imperfect inhumans because humans are interesting. I dislike the uninteresting because they're boring. Those are some big doors. The Acropolis. Now we'll get to the Acropolis later. We're going to the Agora. But we're not going to see what the Agora is until now. Wait a second. I have to start on that? I mean, I'm going to give this a shot. You have to start on... Oh, that is sneaky. Oh, that is sneaky. Also, I think that getting hit interrupts your attacks already, and these increases aren't particularly interesting. But I'm going to go with normal just so that I don't get caught up in things. I still don't know what health recharge means, because I guess I never ran out of attack enough for it to matter. Yeah, we got fast travel. There's fast travel in this game.
By mandate of Zeus, father of gods and men, king upon the mountain, the Olympian gates are open to all deities who seek refuge.
Not a deity.
Though your domains on earth lie in ruin,
Zeus welcomes you into his home during this time of transition.
I'm a deity?
Once the mortal issue has been resolved, you will
Oh, I love how he accentuated once the mortal issue has been resolved.
As guests of Zeus's hospitality, strict adherence to his laws is expected. Violence and theft will be met with the wrath of Olympus.
Which just means guards can flock you. So yeah, that's actually not that bad.
Be back on Earth before you know it. Then it'll be just like old times, before the humans.
Zeus, from the many-folded peak of Olympus, taught Themis to summon all gods to assembly. She went everywhere and told them to make their way to Zeus's house. Zeus's house! I heard it's a shocking place to be. There was no river that was not there, except only Okeanos. There was not one of the nymphs who live in the foresty groves, and the nymphs of the river springs, and the nymphs of the grassy meadows who came not. He swallowed something among the smooth rock close to the rocks. Iliad! Oh, sweet! Oh man, I love these random frame drops that are just going, whoa. Okay. Now, in this environment, you can stab anyone you want. You can take their stuff, you can loot them, pillage them. They're not good for money, but you also get into trouble.
I hear the war is going well. Won't be long before we can go back home.
The seal of Acropolis. Petrovich, Nichkovich, Katrovich, Kruchkovich. That kind of stuff. Oh man, I'm gonna love climbing up there before it's too soon. We need the Plume of Gera. Oh yeah. We need Gera's Plume. So let's just go and stab a dude. Let's shank someone before we end this video. Let's hope this doesn't happen too much. Give me my money. Give me my fucking money. Where the fuck is my money? You always pay 20 coins. Or you can just beat him up. And then they forgive you. And if you kill a dude inside a house, they don't care. Which is really interesting. Because it ostensibly means... Because it essentially means... I forgot about that. Well, I forgot how to do it, though. That takes care of all of them. Now we can just shank some people. Sweet! So yeah, I want to stay out of trouble though. I don't know if guards, I think guards respawn, so if you're in the Acropolis or the Agora, try to keep it safe. Don't break anything in their sights, don't pick locks in their sights until you're ready. Most importantly, if they're in a house, it's fair game, because they can't summon respawning guards, and merchants don't give a shit, which is the best part. We'll get to that once we get to the market. Oh man, 24 frames a second, 100% cinematic experience!